Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Today Show, our beautiful motivational Monday. I'm Dr. Laurie Davis and my co-host with me, Virginia Clark. Good morning, Virginia.
Good morning, Lori. How are you today?
Doing great.
Good,
Feeling
good.
fallish though.
I was just gonna say, happy
Right.
fall.
Happy fall, but it's going to warm up here this week. It's going up to
It is.
25 and
Mhm.
26 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a warm week,
Yeah,
and that's amazing.
it's gonna
So
be a
what
beautiful
about you?
week.
How was your weekend? I had a busy weekend. I had family on Saturday and friends on Sunday, and it's Ron's birthday this week, so we did a little early celebration. So I was busy on the weekend. I don't really feel like I've had a break yet. So
Mm,
I might have to take the rest of the day off.
there you go.
I
Absolutely,
know.
self-care, self-care. Yeah, I
Hmm.
had a quiet weekend. It was good. Just relaxed. Yeah, just relaxed.
Cool. That's
Yes.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, um, today we thought we would talk about this wonderful thing called stress.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Oh
Yeah.
my. Now that school's in and people are in a routine, I went for a few groceries the other day and there was Halloween goodies on one side of the store and Christmas on the other side
Mm-hmm.
from each other. So we've just got our Halloween stuff out and now the Christmas stuff is out. And all of a sudden I could feel the stress,
Yeah, absolutely.
especially with the holiday season. It brings a lot of stress for people.
So much stress for people, and it doesn't have to be that way.
No,
Right? It doesn't have to be that way. So,
no.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
what's our definition of stress? I think you have a good
I
definition.
do have a good definition. So there's a couple things. Whatever makes us uncomfortable
Oh,
is
wow.
stress. Whatever makes us uncomfortable. So when you talk about Christmas, maybe it's, the family dynamics or having to travel, anything like that. And another thing for us when in our business, when we talk about stress, so it's anything that is not in line with our core values. Anything that is not in line with our core values creates stress.
So that would be why so many people don't like their jobs,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
They hate the thought of getting up in the morning and going to work because it's stressful.
Hmm.
Because maybe, to be perfectly, I don't like to say to be perfectly honest because that implies you're not telling the truth the rest of the time. But if I want to do a true confession here, that was the major reason I left my teaching career
Yeah.
because I couldn't agree with some of the things that were being done, policies that were being created that were not in the best interest of my students.
Hmm.
And I was really uncomfortable with that,
Absolutely. Yeah, I
right?
completely agree. My last job, not the one I'm doing currently,
Hmm.
same thing. The some of the things that happened, it's like, nope, I can't be here anymore. I just absolutely. When it goes against your core values, it causes stress. And, sometimes people think that they don't have any other options, but there's
Hmm.
always, always other options. Always other options.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we also know that stress is now the what we call, and I put it in our description of the show today, stress is like the silent killer.
Hmm.
So it creates physical manifestations in our body.
Yeah.
So you and I have both had cancer. And if
Yeah.
we were to reflect to the 2 or 3 years prior to the cancer, they were very stressful times,
Very stressful times. Yeah.
right? You had
Absolutely.
your round. Hmm.
Yeah. Numerous deaths, finances, the job, anything like that. Absolutely. If you don't take care of yourself, we've had this discussion before. If you don't take care of yourself, your body will tell you enough is enough.
Right, right.
And when that time comes, you're absolutely right. It is something that can be absolutely devastating if not taken care of right away.
That's right.
Yeah.
So my stress that was created, we had to give up our home during COVID. I had to give up my
Hmm.
retreat center. We had a big move. We had to downsize. Wow, it was so stressful.
Hmm.
And then again, the finances as well. because we weren't able to earn any living, basically. The business
Absolutely.
shut down. So yeah, it was very stressful. And I'm wondering how many people are now sick as a result of the stress of COVID. Not the COVID itself,
Hmm.
but the other day we had our family here. First time we've all really been together since before COVID.
Right.
Like seriously?
Yeah.
And how much stress did that create?
It's still, I think it's still in the minds and hearts and souls of a lot of people. What happened, what they went through. And absolutely, I'm going to say hundreds, if not thousands of people, I bet you, are ill
Mm-hmm,
today from COVID in
mm-hmm,
one, shape or form. Absolutely. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, that type of damage. Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So I'm sure, let's say, if we were to speak generally about the numbers of people who are stressed right now, we'd be pretty close to 100%,
I agree. I
right?
agree. Yes.
Everybody's carrying it. You can see it in their face. You can see it in their lack of a smile, or their eyes are tired or glazed over, or and they're constantly sick,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? That's the stress.
That's the stress. Absolutely.
Hmm. I mean, even your kids can stress you out because they're doing things that you don't agree with or that you're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that can be stressful.
Can be.
And
But
what about relationships?
if you raise them right, we know making mistakes is a way to learn.
Right.
If they have that proper guidance, absolutely. Does it mean you don't stress out on them? No, no, you still stress. But
That's
yeah,
right. Right.
yeah, and
And then
relationships.
also, if you think about relationships, marriages,
Mhm. Yeah,
woohoo, weehoo.
I'm
What's that?
curious the percentage of numbers of divorces that came out of COVID.
There's a good
I'd be
research
curious.
if they
Mhm.
even recorded it.
Yeah,
Well, sure, because all of a sudden there's no money, there's no friends, you're locked up in your house with your kids. And for some people, especially where we live, a lot of our men work away.
hmm,
They're away for 2 weeks, then they're home for 2 weeks. And during COVID, they were home 100%.
yeah,
So how's that for an adjustment, right?
absolutely. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd be curious the percentage of divorces that came from COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that brought financial stressors. So
Hmm.
finance has always been stressful for people.
Yeah.
If you have tons of money, you worry about losing it all. And if you don't have any money, you worry about how you're going to put food on the table. So
Hmm.
either way, it's stressful.
We could go on and on. I mean, grocery prices, gas prices.
Oh my gosh, I know.
What is there not to stress about these days, Laurie? What is there not to stress about? Yeah,
Exactly.
it is. It's where we're at right now today in this in the world, in Canada, US, all over.
Yeah.
Everything is just kind of heightened. It's something that, yeah, you consciously have to keep that stress under wraps in some way, which is what we're going to talk about today. So, some ways
Yes,
to de-stress, because, yeah, it's a lot of stuff is out of our control, but what we can control is ourselves.
that's right.
So, the way we de-stress, the way we, see things
Mhm.
and think about things are things that we can control when everything around us is, essentially in
Out of
chaos,
out of control.
out of control, chaos.
And then we just have to think about politically, both in Canada and the United States right now, plus the wars in the Middle East. I mean,
You know,
people.
I know.
I mean, who do we have to pick from as leadership? Where are the new young politicians that are coming up? They're not there. We've
They're
got
not there.
senior citizens running for, you know,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing. I'm not saying
No,
that's not a bad thing, but it's just like really. And although everything appears to be complex, there's very simple solutions to most things.
hmm,
But we keep it complicated so people can stay stressed. I mean, you turn on the television, you turn on the television because work is done, your day's done, you want to relax and just enjoy
Yeah.
some nonsensical stuff. And then there's a big news flash about something and then breaking news. And
Yeah.
oh
No.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Some people have had to take television right out of their house. I mean, seriously.
We actually did.
Did you?
When COVID hit, and that is, we didn't even turn the radio on.
Oh,
We didn't
wow.
even turn the radio on. It was to the point where, and there's so many deaths and so many deaths and so many deaths. And I'm like, I can't, at that point I was in the healthcare field and I'm like, I can't hear this every day. I'm already living this every day. And yeah, we got rid of our TV. We literally just stream a couple things, watch what we want, and turn it off. That's it. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's, and it was designed, you're right, to keep you in that heightened sense of stress and, everything, push, this. And yeah, no, we absolutely did. And, we don't regret it. Not at all.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we're busy now. And that's part of why I want to do our broadcasts, because I want to be able to share with people that there are solutions. And that's not about promoting me or our work in the world or anything like that. But it is, in fact, doing that at the same time, because it's not a self-promotion thing. It's, hey, guys and gals, you don't have to be like that, or you don't have to keep that drama rolling, or, we've been doing this for years, but we needed a platform where we could inform people that there's hope, there's changes, we can change, we can make changes. We don't have to stay stuck in that same old rut.
Exactly.
And out east, we have a saying, a rut is merely a grave with the ends kicked out. So get out of the, right? Get out of the rut. Yeah, with a rut. Yeah. So, I'm in this big poop hole and I'm trying to get myself out of it. But there's ways to get out. There's ways to get out.
Yeah.
Right? So the shows help us to provide us with a platform to share some of the things that we know and that we've experienced. And we're both cancer survivors. Like if you've had cancer or you've got cancer, it's not the end of the world. I know how I felt when I got the diagnosis. I thought it was for about 30 seconds. And then I went, no, this is not happening. And I'm going to make sure. And you did the same thing, right? And here we are. We can talk about it. So, it's the worst thing in the world, the worst news in the world you could ever get. But, well, maybe not the worst, but one of the worst.
One of the worst. Absolutely. One of the worst.
One of the worst. So if you don't think that didn't drive you and I into a stressful situation, whoa.
Yeah.
Right? And here we are broadcasting.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's take a little break and then we'll come back and share some ideas that we have and that we've done, actually. Yes. So when you hear us talking about stuff, we didn't read this in a book somewhere. No. This is something that we know because we've experienced it. So we'll be right back after this break.
The day is set. Join us October 12th, 2024 at Carrigan Arms for our next fundraiser in honor of veterans, the Invictus Games in British Columbia, Canada, and TDC Employment Program Enrollment. For more information, email us at info@thedisabilitychannel.ca. Introducing Veteran House Alliance International Monthly 50/50 Raffle. Purchase your ticket today, link on display, and have a chance to win cash and help a great platform supporting veterans.
All right. Good morning to you, Kathy Bell, one of our favorite people on the planet, who's always here to support us and listen to our shows. Good morning. All right. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about stress and how to de-stress and some things that we can do because like Virginia said earlier, some things we get to control, some things we don't get to control. But let's focus on what we can control.
Absolutely.
And that makes it easy. So over to you, Virginia, for one of our 10 ways that we've talked about that we're going to share today.
Absolutely. And I brought my favorite coffee cup because it says I may be wrong, but I doubt it. So one of the one things that we both love is humor. Humor. Finding the humor in any situation. There's always humor to be had in any situation. Absolutely. So that's one of our favorite ways to de-stress. If you need to watch funny cat videos, anything like that, it's simple ways. Humor.
Well, too, the humor, laughter is the best medicine, the
It
old
is.
saying, which is really true.
It
But you
is.
see, with our situations, we become extremely serious,
Mhm.
and we can't find the fun in anything. So open yourself up and go, wait a minute here. Some of you may say, well, what would be the humorous thing about having cancer? Well, trust me, I said some things to my doctor, and I had a hysterectomy, so I made some. Here I am, 75, and now I can't get pregnant. Um, like you,
Yeah.
you've got to
Yeah.
find the humor in things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So humor's very, yeah. Watch a funny movie. If you're feeling down, just go grab a funny movie. One of my favorite movies is that one with Adam Sandler, um, Grown Ups.
Oh gosh.
They take their kids to their childhood cabin, and they
Yeah.
take their wives, and they're all together again, and all the different dynamics that they share with the kids, what they did, and oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, it's hilarious. And then there was a Grown Ups too.
Grown-ups too. Yeah. There
And
is.
back in the day, my favorite fun movies were Naked Gun, Naked
Oh
Gun 1,
yes.
Naked Gun
Yes.
2 with
Any
Leslie
of those
Nielsen.
movies. Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes.
So
Yes.
just inject fun. Is that what you're saying,
Yes.
Virginia?
Absolutely. And Jet, I know, when I'm going through my situation, I'm still on my journey. I still have things that I have to go through potentially. Yeah, if I'm feeling really down, literally, I will find these funny cat videos and I'm like crying by the end because, that's another one. Pets is another de-stress. But, just watching these antics of these animals because they're hilarious. And
Mhm.
and my husband and my son will look at me like, "Are you all right?" And I've got tears running down because I'm laughing so hard I can barely even breathe.
Yeah,
That's what you need. You just need that because it just gets that right out of your head, that stress and that. And sometimes I find, I say, if I don't laugh, then I'll cry when you're going through these stressful situations. And yeah, I find that if I don't laugh, I'll cry. So for me,
well,
yeah,
that's very interesting that you were laughing and crying at the
I'm
same
crying.
time, because when you laugh really hard, tears come down, right? So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm,
Those belly laughs that, everything hurts when you're done. That's the best kind of
that's right.
humor. I love that. Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. So, hmm
Well, for
yeah.
me, one of the things that I did, I actually just did this in the last few days, and I'm constantly creating a list of what
Mm,
is no longer acceptable to me.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
like it's no longer acceptable for me not to go for my walk in the morning. It's no longer acceptable for me not to get my rest because I
Hmm.
had gotten into this little habit of staying up late and watching an extra movie and not getting to bed till 11 or 12 at night. And that didn't serve me because the next morning I didn't feel rested.
Yeah.
So I went to bed last night at 9 o'clock and I slept until 7 this morning and I had a
Excellent.
really good rest.
Yeah.
So what is no longer acceptable to you that's going on in your life? It's no longer acceptable for me, for my family not to get together, so I got them together. No longer acceptable for me to do all kinds of things. So I just made a new list. And that
Hmm.
that was like a
Yeah.
because these are things that occupy space in your head, worrying about things or stressing about things.
Yeah.
So I just did it and went,
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
So have you ever created anything like that, that things that are no longer
Um,
acceptable? I'm sure
just
you have.
stop, stop, stop making those excuses. You
Yeah.
know, There's no reason. It's along the same line. It's stop making excuses. Get up, get moving, get doing. For me, with my cancer journey, my physical strength is still not where it was when I started. Well, of course, I mean, my body's been through hell and back right now, so that's where we're at. So it's just learning. You may have limitations, but that doesn't mean you can't, like you said, get your rest, get up in the morning, go for a walk, get that fresh air. Another one of our ways to de-stress is nature.
Yes.
Fall, think of all the
Oh,
beautiful colors that are out there right now. Just go and take a stroll through the trees, through the parks, anywhere you can to get out and just take it all in, because nature is proven that it is healing to you. It's healing, it's de-stressing. Just let it go out there. The trees will take it and turn it into mulch.
that's right. That's
you
right.
know, it just
No,
those. It doesn't have to cost money to de-stress.
no.
Anything that we're talking about today, it's free.
Yeah,
Because we talked about the stress of finances. It's free to go for a walk in your local park. It's free to, laugh. It's free to make those lists to say, okay, this is not acceptable in my life anymore because I have to take care of myself. And that's the beauty of, you know, the knowledge and experience that we have. We've done it, so you don't have to now. We're going to share with you.
right,
We're going to
right,
share with you and help you out because that's what we love to do. And
right.
and that's another way for us, I think, to de-stress too, is because we genuinely love what we do and we care about people.
That's
And
right.
that's the beauty of this show on Mondays is, that's what we represent, right? We are living proof of these concepts that we talk about.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're not blowing smoke out of our butt.
No.
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 And what about the broadcast itself? People can watch this on their phones, their laptops, anywhere for free. I
For
know you
free.
pay for your phone and you pay for your internet and all that. I'm
Mhm.
not talking about that. But it doesn't
Yeah.
cost anything to come and listen to a show,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that about us. Um, all right. I'm going to pick everybody needs a buddy. Okay. So we need somebody that we trust, that we can talk to, and
Mhm.
that we can tell them things and that we know it's not going to go any further. In other words, we all need a confidant. It may not
Yes.
be your sister. It may not be a relative. In your case, I know it is though, isn't it? Who do you go
Is
to?
it's my mom. It's my mom.
Right.
When I feel like my stress is really heightened, I'll just phone her and just immediately there's just those levels just drop and I'm like, thank you so much for bringing me out of this,
Hmm.
almost frantic I can get sometimes when I'm learning about myself. I'm not the most patient going through all of this. So, when things are, you know, taking longer than I think they should be taking, I can phone her and she's just like, just when we talk about just random things, but it just brings that stress level down. And I'm like, thank you so much for just listening.
Hmm.
And she's
Oh,
like, anytime.
that's
Right?
nice.
So, it's just those, you're right, that confidant, that person who just takes your soul and just says, hey, we got you, gives it a little
Mhm.
bit of a squeeze and hugs you tight, even if it's a voice over the phone. And it just brings everything right down to where you're just like, good, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, for me, it's my husband, Ron, because I know I can go to him with anything. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's a girl thing. And and he'll just listen. Because years ago I said to him, when I come to you, it's not, I don't want you to fix anything. I just need somebody I can talk to and
Mhm.
process it. So if I have a chance to share it, then I can process it. And I know he's not going to think less of me. He's not going to judge me. He's not going to think I'm silly. Um, I remember one time coming out of the shop hair. I just had my hair done, and I jumped in the car, and he looked at me, and I said, I just need you to be my girlfriend right now and tell me how pretty I look. Okay, he said.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So for me, it's my husband.
Yeah.
And we all need that. We all need somebody. And it might not be a family member. And
Absolutely.
sometimes it's best if it's
Mhm.
not a family member, if you don't have a good relationship, or
Exactly.
rather
Yeah.
a healthy relationship
A
with that
healthy
person.
relationship.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Absolutely. Yep.
Right. So that's
Yep.
mine. Go talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Call me. Here, I'll put my number up. Call the doc. And I mean it. I get calls every day from people I've never met or I don't know, because I've told them, if sometimes, during COVID, I was talking down probably 3 to 4 suicides a week.
Terrifying.
I know. I'd get the call.
Mhm.
They'd say, would you talk to my son? Maybe a former client, someone
Mhm.
who'd been in our workshops, uh, say, you need to talk to Dr. Laurie Davis right now.
Mhm.
Of course, I wasn't the Dr. Laurie Davis back then, but it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
still the
You don't
same
know.
person, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So over to you. What's another one that you have?
I'm gonna say, um, going out with friends for coffee.
Oh, tell us about that.
Yes. So, of course, pre-COVID, everything is pre-COVID, right? Or after COVID. Yeah, I belong to a ladies group and a variety of ages. And we would try and get together, once a month for coffee somewhere in Lacombe, where I'm from. And just that, again, we like to talk about that collective wisdom, but from different ages and stages, it's beautiful, that collective wisdom. You can sit there and just relax, and and de-stress. Maybe someone has been through what you're going through, and they can give you a little advice. Just be open to hearing what anyone has to say. But yeah, just getting out, maybe if you're feeling like you're trapped in your home, go out for coffee with friends. Just do different change of scene, different venue. Maybe that might help, like you had said, Lori, about processing, what's inside. Maybe, you don't feel like you have a confidant, but if you have a group of friends, there you go. Same thing. Collective wisdom is just as beautiful as, one person's um, experiences or stories, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know for sure that people who have been clients of ours, facilitators, guests, of course, we have a gathering every Monday night at 7 o'clock. That's very intentional, just to give a place for people to come and say, hey, how you doing? This is what I did this week that was exciting. And to be enlightened by something that somebody shares. So we do that every Monday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. And if you want to come, just let me know and we'll invite you. And it's very empowering. But there are some of you in that group that have been together for a while now,
Mhm.
taking workshops together, learning together, and those people become our friends.
Yeah.
And so there's always somebody, I feel, in our group that I could go to at any time. I could come to you, Virginia, anytime
Mhm.
with anything.
Yes.
I know you'd listen.
Yeah.
And we have that mutual understanding and respect within our groups.
Mhm.
So that's what we provide for that. But you're
And the
right.
beautiful thing about our groups is just the no judgment.
Oh,
It
I
doesn't
know.
matter what is going on in your world. I know I've shown up to workshops like a mess when I was dealing with my dad's death and estate and stuff like that. And you guys just welcome me with open arms. And, it is definitely a safe
Mhm.
place for whatever. And I probably would not have gotten through what I had to go through if it was not for that, like you said, that group of people who we'd been together for so long, who they know. So what's that word, what's you always say, we have to be friends forever because we know too much about each other.
That is
About each
correct.
other.
That's correct. We
Right?
have to stay friends because we
have
know
to
too much about
be
each other.
friends. Yeah. It's just that, when you can go somewhere and there's absolutely no judgment as to what is going to come out of your mouth, it is such a de-stressing feeling.
Yeah,
If you're
it's
feeling that
liberating.
stress, it's very liberating. It really is. So, just having someone who, like you say, those friends, those confidants, that no judgments, sometimes that's what people need, right? When things that, when we define stress about things that are going against your values, maybe you have to do something or you were asked to do something and someone can talk to you and say, hey, you know what? Been there, done that, work through it. And that's the beautiful thing. No judgment. Because you know what? We judge ourselves already. We really
Yeah,
do.
I'm my biggest critic, right?
We don't need anyone else to help us in that department. We got that
Right.
covered.
Right on.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
got that
Well,
covered.
the other day when I was getting ready to go out for this family gathering, I had different outfits on before, and I thought, what am I doing? I always know exactly what I'm going to put on, and it's on for all day. Like, what are you doing? But you see, it was out of a fear of being judged.
Yeah.
You go, oh, that doesn't make me look thin enough. That color doesn't. I was actually doing that, and then I said, stop yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's come back after this break with a few more de-stressors. Yeah, stop judging yourself.
We welcome you to advertise and promote your goods and services and or brand your logo to 34 million subscribers on Canada Talks 167. Your investment will go towards our employment programs in the media industry for persons with disabilities and veterans.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the Today Show here on the Disability Channel. I'm your host, Dr. Laurie Davis, with my co-host, Virginia Clark. And today, Mondays, we do self-care, self-improvement, and empowerment. So today we're talking about how to de-stress, how to get that stress level down. And I always know when I'm stressed because my body will tell me I'm stressed. My tummy starts hurting. Maybe I start to get a headache. And then I think, oh, I just haven't had enough water. No, it's the stress that I'm concerning myself about something that is not lining up for me. This isn't working for me. Therefore, I'm stressed.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And how many of us see Monday rolling around and we're already stressed?
Exactly. It's
We haven't even got to Monday yet. It's Sunday and we're already stressing about Monday. So I think today is the perfect day to talk about ways to de-stress because, how many of us just see Monday and, we're like, oh, and this and this and this. Yeah, it's all right. You got this.
When I first left my teaching career, of course, it was 9 to 5 kind of job, 5 days a week. And I was always like that, Monday. Oh. So right when I decided to become an entrepreneur and leave my job, I used to take Mondays off.
Excellent. Love it.
I just made a new memory, right? And I still do. Monday, I try not to be too busy on Monday. Mm-hmm. And Mondays became a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to, another way to de-stress, we need to reprogram ourselves, have a new memory, create a new idea. So a lot of times when we've had tragedy, like the loss of a loved one, and, we're going to lose our parents. I mean, that's just inevitable. But, Saturday was my dad's birthday, and he passed away in 2016. So we all had a little toast for him as well. Nice. So you see, we create new memories. And my sister said, oh, see this necklace I'm wearing? I said, yeah, it's beautiful. She said, Dad gave me that. Aww. So she was in the same place as myself around that, right? So we need to be able to not feel badly about something forever. So in other words, eventually when you do your personal work, you heal from those things. And time doesn't take care of anything. People say, well, in time, you'll get over it. No, incorrect information. Anybody says that to you, they don't know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
But the one thing that does work is to be prepared to do your own personal work and healing. We've all had trauma. We've all had things happen to us and tragedy. Nobody's going to escape. So you're not alone. I mean,
No.
you know, when you're going through that stuff, you think, oh my gosh, I'm the only person in the world that's been sexually assaulted. I'm the only person in the world that's had a divorce. No, you're not alone, but you feel like you're alone.
You feel alone. Yeah.
So that requires a reprogramming of an old belief that's no longer serving you. And I think a lot of people are stuck in those old belief systems. They're still operating like they did when they were a kid because that's what the rules were, you know, because mom and dad made the rules, right? So then you grow up and you move away and you create your own life and you're still living by those childhood rules. Does any of that resonate with you?
Absolutely. It makes
Yeah.
complete sense. And you know, and the one thing we talk about, you know, in our work is reprogramming those tapes to something that's going to, you know, work for us. And one of the things that I have written down, which serves me well right now with what I'm going through, I am healthy and strong and can handle anything life throws at me. Right? So something as simple as that. Another thing, you know, which falls in that line is that gratitude journaling. You know,
Yes.
there is something to be grateful for in every day, in anything that happens, in any situation. There is something to be grateful for, and to sit down and consciously, you know, change that tape and okay, instead of thinking, oh, well, this happened and this happened. No, what good happened to me today? One of our colleagues, Lisa, talks about glimmers, you know, finding those things in every day, just that little, even hope, you can call it, whatever you, if that's what word works for you, just something in every day that you can be grateful for, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if that's what works for them, writing that helps them de-stress, it helps them think about things, absolutely. Gratitude journaling, beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Write it down. Even going through the cancer, I picked myself up a day timer that says cancer, and I won't say it because we're on the air, but every day it says 3 things I'm grateful for today. Even though I'm going through cancer, this journal is asking me, what are you grateful for today? So, you know, it gets you out of that mindset of, oh my God, I have cancer. And what can I be grateful for today while I'm going through dealing with this situation? You know, because we are not what happens to us.
No.
We are not what we're going through. It's a situation. We're, you know, we've got the tools in our toolbox to get through it, and that is the goal, right? That's our goal today, giving you some tools to help you de-stress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And these are all things that we can do. Like you said earlier, doesn't cost anything. It's not costing you anything right now to take down these 10 things and then go do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess the next one I'll talk about is, I guess, entertainment. You know, I love being entertained. So music, movies, watching a series that I really enjoy, just the arts. And I always have, believe it or not, I bought myself a new box of crayons the other day, 96 colors, and a new coloring book. And I don't like the adult coloring books. I find them very stressful because they're so detailed.
No.
Takes you 5 weeks to color a picture. No. So I like the old fashioned kind where I print them off the internet and I color something because it's very soothing for me. Just get out your coloring books and your crayons. And of course, I just last week shipped some products out to a couple of our men who are in our men's core empowerment. There's 3 guys in the class. And we always put crayons inside the workbooks.
Yeah, we do.
Now, these guys don't know they're getting crayons and stickers, okay, in their workbooks. I know I'm going to get a comment or a remark, but they haven't got them yet, but they're there in the mail. And of
Yeah.
course, I love doing them up, put the crayons in there because they're going to color their balance wheels and all that. So coloring, art,
Yeah. Art.
painting,
Yeah.
music,
Dancing. Hmm.
dancing, all
Hmm.
those things.
Yeah.
Oh, I read a post this morning. A woman lost 45 pounds just from dancing 7 minutes a day.
Wow.
I'm going to try that because
Amazing.
I love to dance.
Yes.
I could dance for 70 minutes, not 7, but 7 minutes a day. So
Wow. That's
anything
fantastic.
like that,
Hmm.
arts, music,
Yeah.
maybe you love to exercise, maybe you love to run, whatever.
No.
I don't like to exercise and I don't like to run.
No.
So but I'll dance.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. If I'm running, something's chasing me, and you better run too. So yeah. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dancing is just such a nice form. I mean, I think back to even when I first had my son, and trying to soothe him. What do? You rock. You
You're
move.
right.
So absolutely, anything like that is so beautiful
And
to.
dancing also,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Virginia.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. Keep going.
Dancing, seniors who dance have a lot less risk of dementia than seniors who don't.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Mhm.
And I would think, just that movement, the dancing too, less risk of falls.
Right. Better
That
balance.
coordination. Yeah, better balance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
our colleague, you
Hmm.
know who I mean, Kay,
Yes.
Dr. Kay Sheffield, she dances 3 times a week.
Yeah.
She
Amazing.
just turned 79. She
Yeah.
dances 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Square dancing, ballroom dancing. She belongs to a dance club, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Loves it. Beautiful.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right.
All
What do
right.
we got left? I am going to talk about self-care days.
Okay.
Self-care days. Something simple. Just I leave the dishes in the sink if I don't want to do them. That's my self-care.
Ah,
That's for me. That's a self-care. Not stressing about, what I have to do. I love to read books. So for me, that's a self-care form of self-care for myself. I can sit down and get lost in my book, and and not feel guilty about taking that time that I need, because
mhm,
as women, we are experts at feeling guilty about
mhm.
not getting stuff done, aren't we? So,
Yes.
women, I'm talking to you. Doesn't matter what age you are. Yeah, it's okay to sit down and take some time for yourself, whatever that looks like for you. If it's soaking in the tub, like you said, Laurie, with some nice relaxing music, some candles, anything that just helps those stress levels go down for you. Anything you can do that helps you de stress. Reading a book. We talked about it. A lot of the stuff we talked about can be wrapped into a self-care day. Watching a funny show, dancing, gratitude journaling, going out with friends for coffee. So anything like that can absolutely be rolled into a self-care day. What works for you is, might not work for someone else, but there's always something you can do that's self-care. Self-care.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And sometimes it's as simple as making sure you get your rest,
Hmm.
eating properly.
Eating properly.
Some
Yeah.
days I get up and I'll say, if I don't have any appointments, and I'll go, you know, I'm not even going to get dressed today because I don't need to be dressed today. I'm not going out anywhere. I'm not on the air. And just not having to put my face on or decide what I'm going to wear is de stressing. I don't have to do it that day. So why should I?
Exactly.
Right?
I have a onesie for those days.
Good. Yes.
Yes, I have a
Yes.
onesie for those days. It's liberating. You're right, just to sit there and put my onesie on, put the hood on, sit there in my slippers, and just relax. Just relax. Anything, like we said before, it doesn't cost you anything to take care of yourself.
No.
But but the outcome, the reward it's priceless. When you're de-stressed and your body's healthy and your mind's healthy and your spirit is healthy, it's so, like we've used the word liberating. It really is liberating to be a healthy person, mind, body, spirit, and go about. You can handle anything that life throws at you when you have that outlook and that positive. you know is everything positive in every day? No.
No.
But does everything have to do with you that happens every day? Absolutely not.
Mhm.
We talked about it when we first started. What's in our control is what we control. What
That's
is
right.
out of our control, there is nothing you can do about it. So you control what's in your circle, what you can control, and anything that's out there, you deal. We deal. And, that's why we talked about just ways to de-stress, everything going on in the world. We've had wildfires. We've had, the government. We talked about that. The groceries, anything. Those are things that are out of our control.
That's right.
Right? So what we can control are anything that we can do to help us de-stress and stay positive and keep us in that mindset of being healthy and being strong, because you don't want to add illness on top of that. And
No.
like you said, we know.
Yeah.
You
We've
do
been
not
there.
want to add illness on top of that. But it kind of opens your eyes when all of a sudden your body's like, hey, hello,
Yeah.
you need to stop. And it opens your eyes, and you realize, hey, I got to start doing something. And these things that we talked about, you can implement every day.
Mhm.
Every day. Take that time.
Well, if
For
you thought it
yourself.
would keep you from getting cancer, would you do it? Right? If
Right?
you thought it would keep you from, developing diabetes and all this other stuff that people have going on.
Yeah.
Along with the self-care, I'd like to talk a little
Mhm.
about that, because a lot of women, like, um, like I believe in pampering, get a
Mhm.
manicure, get a pedicure. You like to do your eyelashes, whatever. But the thing is, the old Laurie did it out of a fear of being judged.
Mm.
I did it for other people.
Yeah.
And by the way, women dress for other women. They don't dress for men. They dress for other women because we're extremely competitive. And so now I do those things for myself. So
Absolutely.
sometimes we need to ask ourselves the question, why do I feel the need to be busy? Why do I need to be super mom? Why do
Mhm.
I have to have my lashes hanging over my nose? Like what?
Yeah.
Why? Why are
Mm.
you doing that? If you're doing it to treat yourself and to feel better about yourself, that's one thing. But if you're doing it for other people, that's about perfectionism, and that's about a fear of being judged.
Yeah.
So it's not the what we do, it's why are we doing it?
Why are we
Is
doing
it
it?
an old tape? Is it an old program? Is it something that I had to do to get my parents' approval? That was my
Mhm.
big thing. Spent a big part of my life working on getting the approval of my parents. And they loved me anyway. I didn't even have to do that, right? I made that up,
Right?
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I made that up, right?
Our minds are so
Oh,
strong. They really are. So
yeah.
I mean, we have that mindset, like we said, are you doing it for yourself? You're right. Are you doing it for someone else? And that really does, even that simple thing, to stop and think about it, is huge. Yeah, if I'm going to sit in my onesie all day, that's for me. Absolutely. I honestly don't care. And if I had to go see my mom, if I was in my pajamas, she wouldn't care, right?
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of, that, just being confident and comfortable and knowing yourself, loving yourself for who you are. That self-worth we talk about, because when you have that self-worth intact, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. Yes, stress is going to be there. We know that we can't get rid of that. Stress is always going to be there. Always. But what we can control is how we react to it, how we respond to
Yeah.
it.
How we manage it. Well, Kathy and her mom did something cute. Look at this. Here's
Oh,
what they said. My mom and I went to the States and picked up a pair of Vera Bradley flowered PJs, and sometimes we lounge in those. Very comfortable and pretty. That's so cute, Kathy. That is
Perfect.
really
I
cute.
love it. That's
Yeah,
amazing. And that would be something my mom and I would do too. Yeah, she needs a
right.
onesie.
Yeah, there you
Christmas
go.
is coming. She
Right,
needs a onesie.
right on.
Yeah,
All right, we have
absolutely.
about 5 minutes or so. So, just looking at our lists,
Hmm.
also too, I've noticed. Now, I never had a dog for 30 years. When I was younger, I had a little dog. But about 5 years ago, a friend of ours was passing away, and he said,
Hmm.
"We need you to take the dog." And I went and I whispered into Ron's ear, "Steve wants us to take Pride home." Ron says, "No way. We're not having a dog. We haven't got a dog. We don't even have a plant. We don't have anything we need to take care of. So we're not we're not bringing a dog home."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, Steve wants us to take the dog, and we know what his outcome is." So I went home that night with the dog, a bucket of dog food, and a leash. And I have to tell you, that was just before COVID hit big time. And that dog got us through COVID because he made
Hmm.
us laugh. He sat on our laps. I mean, he's a big dog. He weighs 60 pounds, but he still
Hmm.
insists on sitting on your lap. And I look at him now, and even in the mornings before I come down to the studio, um, he expects this little cuddle, this little
Hmm.
alone time with mom, right?
Yeah.
So it's pets, and
Yeah.
it takes your mind off you
Hmm.
and your troubles, and they're
Hmm.
so dependent on us. If we don't feed them, take care of them, make sure they're looked after, um, then
Yeah.
they're in trouble, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that really helped us, and I know you have pets as well, so you might want to mention
I
something.
do. Yeah. And they're so healing when after each of my chemo treatments, we have one little, like our youngest one in the house. So I have 8 cats and 2 dogs. I have 4 cats in the house, 4 cats and 2 dogs outside. We have an acreage, so it's okay. But the youngest one in the house would, for the week, almost 2 weeks after my chemo treatments, would sleep with me right on the side where the cancer was,
Oh,
and just
wow.
snuggle. And it's that, just that comfort, like you say, that they bring you comfort just as much as we need them, almost just as much as they need us, I think. And it just it's unconditional love in that sense, where with our pets, that that unconditional love. And you feel it when they know when you're stressed out.
Oh,
So,
yes.
how many times have you sat down on the couch, anyone with a cat or even a dog, and they lay on you? Guess what? You don't move. So they're telling you, hey, I'm here.
Chill,
Chill.
chill. Mhm.
Absolutely. And so that was just, it was such an interesting thing to go through, because for one, I've never gone through this situation before with cancer and chemo and that. But to have him there, and literally, like, in bed, the same thing. If I was on the couch or in bed, it didn't matter. He was on that side, and helping me heal and just giving me that unconditional love. And it was amazing, so amazing. And yeah, the funniest cat ever. Like, the antics are just, you can't help but smile and laugh at their antics. And yeah, it's just, like you say, someone who depends on you. You got to walk the dog. You got to
Mhm.
get up. You got to get moving. So you can't stay in that funk. If you're in a funk, you can't stay there. Someone needs you. Someone wants you and says, hey, let's move. Let's get going. And the beautiful
Look
thing.
who's here. Look
Oh,
who's
she
here listening
is,
in.
Sylvia.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
she is.
actually, I discovered, and I'll end with this, and then our time is up
Mm,
already. But
already.
Pride, um, if I would have had, like, when we had the resort, when we had I'd bringing people in, and let's say we'd gather for a meal, and he was around the people that were there, he would always gravitate to the person with the most emotional baggage, the
Amazing.
person that was not the healthiest. That's who he
Yeah.
gravitated to. and would spend his time with them. So if we have company and there's a room full of people, he'll pick the one that really needs to do the work. It's amazing. And I've documented that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. So that's who he'll go to comfort and sit on their lap and make them laugh. And yeah.
Aw, he's such a sweet guy.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, our time is up. Do we have any other words of wisdom? I guess maybe to keep the expectations down and not to be so hard on yourself.
That's a good way to end it. Yeah, reduce those expectations from anyone, really. I mean, you know, everyone is going through something. They may not talk about it. So, you know, sometimes behaviors are, there's always something maybe deep down with those different behaviors that, so yeah, just reduce those expectations and absolutely on yourself. Yeah. Cut yourself some slack, give yourself a break. De-stress.
Right on. De-stress. Okay, Virginia, thank you for another beautiful day. And what a great way to start off our week. I love it. I look forward to Monday mornings. Can't wait, because I know we're going to come up with something really special for people. So everybody have a great day. See you tomorrow. 2 shows tomorrow, 9 a.m. Money Matters, and 11 o'clock, the Press Box. We have a very special guest coming in. So see everybody tomorrow.
Have a great day.
Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Take a breath. Let it be alright. Take a breath. Let it be enough right now. Let this moment be what it is. Let this moment